In this demo, an APB will be used to create new user credentials during a bind and revoked during an unbind. We'll be using an environment set up with CATASB, which can be found here on GitHub. With the default value changed, we'll be setting broker launch APB on bind. We'll be setting that to true. We will also be using a demo application that will show that we have connected the database and also that we can create new items in that database. We will be using the source to image tool to start that up, and the source code can be found here. So let's go ahead and get started. I've already set up a cluster with CATASB with the default value changed. As you can see here, we have the one APB, the bind PostgreSQL APB. So first things first is I'll create a demo project. Just call it Demo App. Let's go ahead and create that. And we'll create the source to image of the bottle to do demo. We'll just call this to do. And we'll go copy and paste that URL. And while waiting for that to build, let's go ahead and provision the PostgreSQL database, APB. So we will add it to the project there. We'll allow him a random password to be set. We're going to go ahead and select multiple users here. Multiple users will allow us to create new users each time a bind is called. Let's also go ahead and select 9.5 for the version. And let's start the provisioning for that. We will not be doing any binding at this time. So we can go ahead and view the project. We should see the APB here. Just a second, and we can watch the logs here. And this may take a second to set up the persistent volume and get the Postgres image up and running. So we'll take a second and come back. So here you can see that we're waiting for Postgres to come up. Let's go ahead and take a look at the to-do application, which should be building right now. Let's see, we are 91% complete with the third layer, so it should be done any second now. What we can do is go ahead and open up a new tab where we are attempting to see the demo application. Right now you can see that there's nothing been deployed, so we're going to get the OpenShift message saying that the pod's not up. Once we see that the pod's up, we can refresh this and we will see that the application is up, but it does not have a database, so we should create a binding to have the application actually do something. So now if we look, the APB is finished, so we know that the PostgreSQL database is up and running as we expect, and we can go ahead and create a binding. So to do that, we're just going to go ahead here and create a binding. We're going to bind with the PostgreSQL APB, and we're going to go ahead and watch the logs of that bind operation. We should see the APB get launched here, and we should be able to view the logs. And we can see here that we are creating a new database owner. We're granting privileges on the database to that user, and then we're encoding the bind credentials so that the service broker can retrieve those bind credentials. What we should also see created here is a secret. We can go ahead and redeploy this so that that secret is added to the pod using pod presets. Let's go ahead and see that secret. And here we can reveal a secret. We can see that there's a random password and a random user that's been created. And that's what we want. So now that this has been redeployed, we should be able to refresh this page and see some data. So as you can see, we have some to-dos in here, and we can create a new one just to show that we can add things to the database as well. Let's just add check out example APBs. Let's go ahead and click save. And as you can see, we added our to-do. So now we want to prove that we can revoke these bind credentials by deleting the binding. So what we're going to do is go here and select delete binding. We're going to delete this binding that we already created by selecting delete. Let's go ahead and close this. We should see the APB is launched right now, and we should be able to see the logs of it. And here you can see that we're removing the privileges on the database. And so what we expect to happen is the secret should be deleted from the application. If we look here, there's no more secret. And we expect that we should get that original screen that says that there is no database connection. There's no database connection, and that the binding has been removed. So the source code for this APB example is found in the APB examples repository underneath the experimental directory. So here it is, the bind Postgres APB. The thing to note about the experimental directory is that you will have to build and push the APBs to your own organization. These will not be published to the Ansible Playbook Bundle organization. So you can use the APB tool to do that, which can be found at the Ansible Playbook Bundle repository on GitHub. Thank you.